lot and for being there and just sharing and reaching out to me to tell your stories. I'm so excited for all the interviews that are about to come. But today I have the pleasure to have here at Robert Vargas. He's a muralist recognized all over the world, and he's one of the authors for most part of the murals that you can find in downtown LA. And right now he's painting the biggest mural in the world by one artist. So he's gonna share his experience and another many things about his career and what inspires his painting and his art and all of that. So let's say hi to Robert Vargas.
Hola.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm better now. Better now.
Okay, we have got some problems trying to get into the app and start the interview, but here we are. So,
Yes,
you're just taking a break from work, right?
I am. I am just taking a break from work. I'm painting in the heart of downtown Los Angeles at 5th and Hill Streets, and I am painting my mural entitled Angelus, which, when complete, will be the largest mural in the world by one single artist.
Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna talk about all of that, but first of all, introduce yourself for whoever doesn't know you yet, or yeah, who are you? What do you do?
Who am I? My name is Robert Vargas. I'm an artist based in downtown Los Angeles, but for the world. And I've been painting since I was a baby. I can't remember when I wasn't creating, and um, there was never a plan B.
So you start painting really like a young age? What introduced you to painting?
Being born, like literally, I never imagined anything else. That
Okay,
was
so
my start in the art business was being born.
ta-da! I'm
Exactly.
here. Uh, no, but I mean, like someone had to tell you, like, or give you
No,
the
no, no.
tools
I'm
to
not.
start.
It sounds funny, but that's uh, my first love was making a mark. I never imagined doing anything else. There was never a plan B. I can't remember when I wasn't drawing and painting. So there wasn't like a significant event that happened that made me go, maybe I should paint, or I heard a song or saw a painting and it made me want to paint. I was always painting, and there were things along the way that just continued to, inform that decision or that life. But I've been painting since my first recollections of life were painting.
Do you remember your first work, like painting?
Well, it's not like a first work, but other than just I remember when I was a kid, I would draw. I would always draw figures. I loved drawing figures.
That's awesome. So when did you realize that you could make a living out of painting?
Fraser Houston says, "Oops, sorry, this is a private conversation." No, Fraser, you can
Hello,
listen.
everyone that is here.
Yeah,
Hello,
listen.
hello, hello. You can join. This is not a private conversation. We are interviewing Robert Vargas, a
I know it
huge
sounds
muralist.
sounds intimate, like we've known each other forever. You guys are privy to something that is maybe you shouldn't be listening in on.
So yeah, when did you realize that you could make a living out of painting, that you could just dedicate to that?
Um, I mean, early on, as a kid, you win an art contest here, you win an art contest there, and then everyone around you seems to say and support it and say, hey, I think this is actually this is going somewhere. Um, I never did it for that, early on, and then but when those kind of accolades start coming, it starts to I think really focus your discipline and how how far you want to take it. And for me, it's something that I think will forever be something that I'm a student of, like life.
When did you pass from a notebook, like drawing or painting in a notebook, to a mural, like in a wall?
I think drawing or painting much bigger. Like my first mural, I was about 10 years old. I painted in Boyle Heights, where I grew up. I was born and raised. A mural there, but I think I always had a desire to paint bigger, to draw bigger. I grew up on a street called City View Avenue, and from my stoop, I could see the skyline of downtown Los Angeles. So it always looms large in my vernacular, and I think that I was always destined to draw big and think big, dream big. So it was always something that I wanted to do, and especially now having the platform to be able to not only um, see my visions come to life, but also hopefully affect change and um, and give access to people to art that wouldn't otherwise have access to art. I think the rewarding part is seeing how people relate to a wall and relate to the imagery, the content that's there. And I think that the right place, the right time, with the right message has the opportunity to really transcend the community. That's my short.
Wow. That was intense. That was awesome. What is how you develop a project like a painting? How you start? Like you draw it first in a notebook,
No, I
you
think
develop
about
the idea.
no, I think about why I'm doing it. Um, I think about the people that I want to reach, and I digest the area and think like the Anthony Bourdain of art, where I go into a community and really invest myself there and think about how I want people to come away from the mural feeling. And I've always been a big believer of like once you know why you're doing something, then you know how you're going to do it. So the conceptual process for me is about 85-90% of the whole creative process. The execution of it, once you know what you're going to do, is just happens like lightning. It's just like a stream of consciousness that flows through. And then of course, once you start on that journey and you're actually creating it, then there's the other parts of the creative process of engaging with the community um, and the little sub stories, the sub narratives that happen inside of the broader scope, which then begin to inform and contribute to the whole experience, and even sometimes the image itself, because sometimes I like to pull people the from my surroundings and incorporate them into the creative process. So sometimes I may have someone modeling for me.
Wow. How would you practice when you were starting? Like would you just go around and paint in
Just
any
scribbling.
random wall or
I mean, I paint every day. It's important to stay disciplined and continue to push yourself, and hopefully, in challenging yourself, challenging your materials, challenging the space around you, challenging the message even, and inventing new ways of trying to say maybe the same thing, or new symbols to describe what it is that you're trying to say. I think it's really important to draw every day. I mean, you get out what you put in, so be true to your work, and your work will be true to you.
okay, Robert Vargas. Okay. I love this. I love this. You're giving me the perfect answers. Um, what would you say? Okay, no, what materials do you use to people for people to know what are you playing with?
Well, there's a lot. What am I playing with?
What are you playing with your draws? With your paintings?
I started with crayons and I moved my way up. I worked my way up. Um, Actually, there's different ways of approaching my work. There's different. I like to think of the whole mark making process as language, and there are a lot of different ways of expressing myself. So sometimes I draw and I use charcoal, and that's a different language. Sometimes I do that on the ground where I'm completely immersed in a drawing and I'm using my physicality and my body to pull marks and articulate, lines. And then and those are quick pieces, like um almost like spoken word poems, where the more labor intensive, larger works are like my novels. They're all part of my vocabulary as an artist. So I'll work with charcoal in my hands, and then I'll work in my studio with maybe 8-foot paintings with brushes and oils, and then when I'm working on large scale murals where I'm scaling off the side of a 14-story building, sometimes I'm using brooms and then maybe water based paint. Um, all of it in the pursuit of trying to not only advance my work but hopefully advance the collective of art here in Los Angeles as well at the same time.
So when you are doing a painting in a wall, you just have the idea on your mind, you don't draw that before, and you just start painting? How you scale or how you...
Right. Well, there's a way for a lot of artists to typically paint and transfer something small and then work large scale, which is gridding or projecting. I've never gridded in my
Mm.
life. I don't project. I do everything completely freehand, all with a brush, and I just visualize what it is that I want to do, and look at the wall and go. And there's no preliminary drawing up there. I go right into it from brush to wall and start painting it and carving it out. There's a concept going in. I know what I want to do. I know how I'm going to do it, but I like to leave some room for flexibility and creative freedom. I mean, maybe if I'm painting an image of two people, um, I know what I want to say. I know why I'm creating it, but maybe the face of the person I'm creating, I'll wait until someone in my peripheral while I'm creating this piece strikes me, and then I use someone who is in the neighborhood or in the community to be a part of the mural itself, and that's my way of mirroring what's happening around me. Uh, because I feel like as an artist, there's a responsibility to be able to, once you leave the wall and once you leave a city, you have to think about the people that have to live with it, and um, I like to incorporate them into my process because um, it's as much about them as it is about me in these works.
Oh wow, that's awesome. I don't know how you do that, honestly. Like, I don't know how you can just go and paint like the measurements. And why, if have you ever had this situation that you, for example, had to paint a person, okay? And you have to paint the arms and the whole person, okay? So how you how you make sure that the size of the arm
Wait for it.
it's
Wait
gonna it's
for it.
it's gonna go in a scale with the rest of the body. Like,
Make sure
how
that
you measure that?
it doesn't look like a baby Tyrannosaurus Rex. Short arms. Um, I mean, honestly, you make adjustments. It's not like you're gonna get it right always the first time. It's all a process. It's like life, you just adjust, you learn. You have to sometimes. I think first and foremost, you have to develop your own relationship with the wall and with space. I've always had a good sense of spatial, I guess, a spatial relationship, spatial, not special, but spatial relationship, and also, doing it, being in that kind of environment where you're challenging it. I mean, these are things that they don't teach you in school. You have to really be doing it.
Oh, did you ever study painting? Did you ever go to school
I did.
for painting?
Painting and drawing. I went to the LA County High School for the Arts. LACSA for
Mm.
short, here in Los Angeles. And then I went to Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh
But
wow.
they don't teach you this, at least the murals. That's that's a whole other animal.
Wow. And what do you think it was the first project that changed your career? It was maybe one project that kind of was like the start of being a big muralist, or
I think, every opportunity, every piece is some sort of a springboard to the next opportunity or piece of work. Um, I definitely think that Our Lady of DTLA here in Los Angeles was definitely a catalyst for some of the work that I'm doing now.
Mhm.
And she is located on 6th and Spring in downtown LA. And I think what's special about that piece is that as downtown was starting to kind of redefine itself and emerge as this new kind of cultural metropolis, um, this mural, was helping define the area that it's in. So um, I think that piece is pretty special, and I grew a lot with that piece.
What has been the most challenging besides painting the biggest mural in the world that we are going to talk about that? That's probably like a challenge for you. What has been your most challenging or the hardest one, or I don't know, the one that has given you more nightmares?
I don't really think of any of them in that way. They're all different for so many different reasons, but obviously the one I'm painting now, because it's so big and I'm painting it without grids, and it's just, that's the only way I've ever worked. But this is definitely much bigger than like a 4-story, 5-story building. It's, you
Hmm.
know, stories, 60,000 plus square feet. And I'm not using any rollers, even for large blocks of color. So there's a lot of challenges when it comes to the weather elements, especially here in LA. I'm not using oil paint, which would allow me some time to articulate the paint. I'm using water-based paint, so you have to move even faster to move it around because it dries so quickly. Um, but I'm always up for the challenge. I was raised on Kobe Bryant, so Mamba mentality.
um, um, have you ever had like a frustration in terms of finishing a painting and not liking it?
And
Or just say like, or say like, "Ah, I could have done much better," or I don't know.
no, you can't think that way. Um, no, but you know, I think are there murals or are there pieces that you think you could go back into and wish you could go back into with what you know now versus what you knew then? Honestly, if I was given that opportunity, I don't think I would, because they're all markers to your career and where you've been, where you're going. So, um, Yassine Moore says hello from St. Petersburg.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for the awards. Thank you. If you have any questions, feel free. Hello, everyone in Facebook, YouTube. Hi.
Katila,
Thank you.
Yassine. Um, yeah, so they're all a marker in your career. So I wouldn't change anything.
Awesome. What will be for you the most interesting one? Because I know that you've worked for famous people and musicians, and I don't know, many other people. What do you think will be like the most interesting project you've been involved in or you've done?
The most interesting project I've ever been a part of. Um, they all have their own. complexions. They're all different. There's the portraits of the world, which I do, and those are my black and white drawings, which I'm creating a book. Um, Hopefully, at the end of this year, I'll start to get that published, and that incorporates the everyday person to celebrities to you know um, homeless people. I mean, it's really a snapshot of where we are and the people that make up the world right now. Um,
You have, sorry.
what I'm sorry.
No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And then so those are really unique. Every one of those portraits is interesting. Let me see. Brett Walker says, "With the changing landscape of downtown LA." Can I answer that?
Yeah, I'm gonna read it out loud, so then for whoever is watching it later can know what we're talking about. Yeah, you can answer anything you want. With the changing landscape of downtown LA and a lot of artists being pushed out, do you still think LA is a welcoming place for artists? Brett Walker asked.
Well, artists are always on the forefront of developing areas that have been kind of cast aside and forgotten. It's always the artists that kind of go there because there's nowhere else to go. They find their little corner somewhere, and then all of a sudden, because it is cool, and they turn the area into a culturally kind of vibrant community where a lot of different ideas are exchanged. Then the big corporations come in and want to attach themselves to something that's real, and by then coming in, they end up like um, taking out the very thing that they were trying to attach themselves to. As far as downtown LA goes, downtown LA has been changing for the last 15 years, and I'm a fifth generation Angelino, born and raised here, a mile and a half away from where I live now, and I welcome the advancement of downtown as a whole, because it's a beautiful city. It's my city, and it's a place that I have always imagined could be an art capital, could be an art capital on par with other great art cities of the world. And LA is so huge that there are so many different neighborhoods, different pockets, and different art communities that exist and will continue to exist, even after big development comes in. I think what's happening right now in LA or in downtown is an opportunity for artists to be able to um, still create. I think we have to still find ways to create, um, and that's really up to us. I don't think we can sit and wait for someone else to make those opportunities for us. We have to make our own.
How can you? Well, thank you, Robert, for that response. How can you actually paint a mural here? Because LA, for people that is not in LA, LA is like the city of murals. You go around LA and there's murals all over the city, beautiful murals. So how can you have to call and to be able to paint a wall, or in LA there's any kind of law that
There's
you
a
can
one
just
eight hundred
paint?
hotline number you call and say, "Hey, I want to paint a mural." And they just work.
No.
No, actually, you know what?
But
There
I don't
was
know if it's that easy to just walk in a street, see a mural, a wall with no like white wall, and just start painting. How
It's
that
not
works?
easy. It's not easy, um, but it's not as hard as it used to be. About 10 years ago, there was a moratorium on murals for about a decade, and you definitely could not paint murals 10 years ago. And you needed to have go through a very stringent permit process. And it's a long story, but there was just a moratorium on murals because of the um, kind of bureaucracy of the city, kind of how they define murals in contrast to commercial murals. And I think artists got just lumped into that conversation or that umbrella, and they're the ones who missed out. And it was hard for them to create, and earn a living during that time if they didn't have the if they weren't backed by some big corporate sponsor. Um, I was a part of that, of changing that, of that fight, that was led by a collective of artists trying to overturn the Mural Moratorium, and that happened back in 2013. And now it's much easier for artists to be able to create works, and it really comes down to relationships. It comes down to funding. It comes down to just I would definitely encourage artists to build relationships instead of just painting rogue murals. There's a place for impermanent art, which I believe in, but there's also, I think, an opportunity for an artist to grow in ways outside of just, painting, but in the business sense, by developing relationships, cultivating relationships with developers, with store owners, and will hopefully lead to bigger business with brands that they can then start to develop a much broader portfolio.
Okay. You have studied, huh? Thank you. Before jumping into the project that you're working now, because I have many questions about that, where else around the world we can find your murals?
Kyoto, Japan, Fitzroy, Melbourne, Malmö, Sweden, Uland, Sweden, Toulouse, France, all over. If you guys can go to my Instagram and check it out, the Robert Vargas, and see where some of those murals are. Last summer, I painted on a separation wall in Bethlehem, separating Israel and Palestine.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, there's works all over. But of course, the works that I create here in downtown Los Angeles, I feel very, very parental about, because I'm from here, and I really want to celebrate the city that I love, because for me, LA is really a microcosm of the world at large. But the world is getting,
I agree.
smaller, and I think of the world as really more of a world community than just distant places and distant lands, but actually a world community.
Awesome. So now jumping into the your project that you're doing now, how did it start? Like, are you hired by a company, or did you just say, like, I want to paint this wall, or like, I want to go bigger?
I want to go bigger. Yes. The developer commissioned the mural, but the mural is my I have creative control over the mural, so it's my concept.
Okay, and what is it about?
Well, it's really about celebrating why we live in love in Los Angeles. And while creating this mural, I've also been traveling the world painting other murals, and it's really cool to be able to bring a little bit of Los Angeles to those cities, and a little bit of those cities back to LA when I resume work on this mural. So, like I said before, LA, is so culturally diverse, and I'm using people who are here now to kind of tell the story of Los Angeles, and where we've been and where we're going, where I'd like to go. And as an artist, and as an Angelino, a native Angelino, it becomes a bit autobiographic. There's a lot of my story wrapped up in LA story.
And
well, Vicar says hello from London. Hello, mate.
Hello, Bobby. Hello, so nice to see you here. Hello, Peter. Thank you, everyone that is watching. Thank you for the hours. You are the best. Uh, oh, Bobby says, would you be streaming on Hubs? So that's something that I was going to say at the end of the interview, but probably this weekend or someday soon, I'm gonna go with Robert because I'm in LA. So I'm gonna go to downtown LA. I'm gonna meet him and gonna do like a streaming of him painting the process, and probably we go to the highs, right?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. I'm just
that's gonna
saying.
be yeah, that's gonna be hilarious.
Oh my god, I can't. I can't. Anyway, when did you start this mural? When did you start painting, and how long do you think it's gonna take you to finish? Because I know that you're also working in other projects at the same time.
I am. I'm trying to finish this year. At tail end of maybe early fall because I have a proclamation coming from the city that everything is kind of tied into. So I want to have that happen when the unveiling happens, which is a proclamation is a day that I'm receiving from the city of LA, which I couldn't be more honored and
Congratulations!
to receive. So that's happening in September. So September is my target date.
Okay, that's awesome. And tell me about some of the projects that you've been working these, like your latest projects.
I mean, this year has been extremely prolific, and this year, I mean, just starting in January, I created a mural for uh, Guitar Center here in Los Angeles for Eddie Van Halen, which has been um, which has been so well received around the world. Great coverage on it, and Eddie was someone that I actually met and knew. So creating that work, and you were out there when I was creating it. That's actually when we connected. And
Yeah.
it was incredible to see the kind of world rock community, music community come together.
Hmm.
That one to like painting a mural for Zambezi Agency, which is a big advertising agency that Kobe Bryant co-founded. So I got to paint a mural of Kobe in February, unveiling on the 24th to 24, which was exactly a year from his passing. So that was pretty powerful and intense. But I think I uh, sent a real strong message that says we're, you know, together we stand, we're stronger together, and has this iconic pose of him with this fist up saying, "LA, you've got this." And then I just did a mural with La Selección de Mexico and Adidas LA, which was very well received here. And I got to go back to my hometown of Boyle Heights and create it. And what I wanted to do there was one, celebrate the game of football, but also um, create a mural where kids in the neighborhood can look up at this mural and see themselves. So the title of the piece I call Pasión y Sueños, and I just want people to be able to look at this mural and be able to follow their own dreams, whether it's soccer, you know, or football, or you know, they're painting or they're riding skateboards or they're playing a guitar or anything that they want to do. I just wanted to instill that and foster that kind of creative outlet because I'm someone who grew up in that neighborhood and I obviously found my passion and pursued it so they can do it as well.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. What do you think that defines your art? Like, what is your like huella? You know what I mean? That you see a mural and
Community
you say like,
first.
"This is Robert Vargas."
Hopefully, hopefully it's about community first and just the human experience.
Yeah, but I mean, what your style? What is what you define your art? What is like?
I don't define
Mm,
my art and style. I mean, it's really me taking bringing fine art to the streets, something that you know people maybe wouldn't see um, have access to because it's I'm creating it usually in my studio, but here I get to create work that's accessible to everyone. And and I think it's really just about, it's community based, and it and hopefully it elevates the human spirit.
Awesome. That's okay. Awesome. Edward says
Pigeon, once you pigeon yourself to a style, for me at least,
you're kind
then
of
you,
condemned. You feel like you are stuck in
you
something.
yeah. And honestly, like, I do work with Vans. um you know I do work with, I have a fashion clothing capsule collection coming out. I'm doing, I have some rugs being made in Nepal of my portraits and being hand woven there. And like, there's not one way of creating. Sometimes I play guitar, or I'll play the piano, or it, you shift mediums as a creative. As long as your fire is always burning, there's no one way to do it. As long as you're still burning, though.
Uh-huh. So if, for example, someone wants to like a work from you, imagine that I want a painting from you. So you do murals, right? But it will be a way that you can do a painting for me. Like there's a way that people can do, you also do that kind of jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, commissioned work, yes. When I'm taking commissions, yes. And you can find that, and reach me through my Instagram.
Okay, everyone, the Robert Vargas Instagram, please. Edward asked if Robert Vargas, what's your family's faith?
What's my family's faith? They are Christian.
Ah, okay. I was
One,
like, what that means?
one love is my faith. One love.
One love, one love. Okay, that's awesome. So, hey Tracy, hey everyone, thank you. And thank you, Bobby, for sharing Robert's Instagram. So tell me a little bit more about the project that you're working on, and then I let you go because I know that you're busy. You're in the middle of painting. Um, what are you at right now with the painting?
The painting is about, just under half done. And again, September's right around the corner, so I have a lot of work ahead of me. But this is, one of the most exciting moments in my life, to be able to see the finish line, know what I have to do, commit to it, and at the same time be living in this global pandemic where, there's an opportunity to connect with the world in a way that, hopefully impacts people, and gives people hope and gives people faith. And that this connection here even endears me to you guys, and you guys to me, hopefully. And that's what it's really about. It's about conversation, sparking dialogue in the world, creating art that matters. What really matters, what matters uh, is what we need to really be focusing on. And how isn't sometimes the art isn't even in the paintings. Sometimes the art is in the way you treat each other, and the way you connect with your viewers, than just, a painting on the wall. That's just the arc. But everything that happens in between, all the connections made, even meeting you, Anna, um, that's part of what I come away from my experience of painting that mural where we met, was
Mm-hmm.
this this relationship. And there's so many relationships that happen along the way that I think inform me as an artist to paint a wall as big as the one I'm painting now. Because it's a gnarly situation. I'm all the way, hanging off the side of this building. But when I think about why I'm doing it, and the people that are supporting it and behind me, and how I'm trying to also, um, champion them, I don't seem so high anymore. It's I'm comfortable with the heights, because I know that there's a greater purpose and that's what it's about, for the greater good.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you for that message. I think we can apply that for every single aspect in life. How tall is the how high is it, the
14
building?
stories, but it's 60,000 square feet, so it's really wide.
Are you in front of the mural by chance?
Am I what?
Are you in front of the mural but by
I'm
chance?
not. I'm not.
Oh.
I'm
Okay,
in my.
we'll see this
I'm in the
weekend.
Batmobile. I'm in the Batmobile right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I got many jobs. I got many jobs.
Oh my God. Okay, so you're gonna be painting for people that it's in LA and can pass by and see how you're working on this. If you can repeat the street and when are you gonna be painting? So if anyone is interested, you can just show up.
Yes, you guys can follow my journey on my Instagram, the Robert Vargas. Um, I'm always streaming live and showing some behind the scenes work. And you know, for me, painting the mural is rewarding, but the real reward comes from being able to bring people along for the journey and having you guys be a part of it. So definitely tune in.
Awesome. Bobby asked that when you predict to finish the work, but he said before his target is September.
Correct.
And then she says, please stream on Hub some behind the scenes. So this weekend I will be streaming with Robert on
Why don't
Sunday.
you? Yeah, why don't Anna? When that happens, uh, you should definitely talk about it in advance. If you're gonna, I think Saturday would be great if you're gonna go up with me.
Okay. Oh my God.
We can talk about it, but yeah,
I need, I need to. I need to think about it because I have, a little bit problem. Look, I'm sweating right now just thinking about it.
yeah.
But everything for the public and for the audience. I will do whatever it takes. Oh my God. Are you okay? Are you unsure? Like how? Okay, how is the structure?
How's what?
The structure. How are you going up?
Oh,
Or
well, we're going up on a window washer stage, so we'll be safe. The building's
are
not
you
going.
tied? Are you
You're,
tied?
we are tied. Yes, we are tethered. There's a whole
Okay.
harness that you're gonna rock.
Okay. Oh my God. I'm gonna be there with the big in the biggest mural in the world, like by one artist. I feel so honored. Thank you. And thank you for your time. Thank you for being on my show. I'm really glad I met you, and I'm really glad that you're here today. I know you're super busy, so I'm gonna let you go. If you wanna say anything else, promote yourself, or send a message out to the world, you can say whatever you want.
When right now?
Yeah,
Oh,
as a
yeah,
goodbye.
I think I've said it all. I just again, you guys can catch me, follow my journey on my Instagram, the Robert Vargas. Bobby, I see you are trying to get me to convert to
Yeah, they
Haps.
just
Yeah,
want you to go live. You can do that
you know what?
anytime.
I will. Bobby, follow me, and I will definitely I will definitely start to go on here. And this is actually my first. This is Anna. You're my first time. This is my first time on Haps. So
You're welcome.
I'm glad it was you. Um,
Oh, thank you.
all right. Sorry. So yes, we'll do that. And thank you so much for you guys for tuning in and um, sharing my art and my process with the world has been something that I has been a lifelong mission, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. Definitely follow your dreams, follow your passions, and yeah, hopefully anything you can do the, to contribute to the quality of your life hopefully will also contribute to the positivity around you, and that's what we need more in the world right now.
Hmm.
Really.
I agree. So agree with
Thanks,
this.
Chris.
Thank you. What? Chris, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for tuning in and for all the support. Thank you, Robert, for your time. I'll be there. We'll go streaming someday this week. Thank you again for your time and all the work that you're doing for the community. I really appreciate that, and I think you're a great artist. So thank you for sharing your art and your talent with the world. Okay, and thank you,
Muchísimas gracias.
everyone. What do you say?
Muchísimas gracias.
Ay, de nada. And
Sorry,
thank
guys. I
you,
just wanted to hear her speak Spanish. That's all.
Robert.
All right. Well, thank you guys
Thank
so
you.
much, and I will see you at the next live when me and Anna go
Yes.
way up.
Yay. Thank you. And tune in, guys. More interviews coming up. Interesting stories. Thank you, everyone. Love you all. Bye.
Ciao, ciao.